Greetings, Interga Therapy family. Welcome. Thank you for joining me again. If you've come across this video for the first time, my name is Andrea Wright from Interga Therapy. Hoping that wherever you are, you're finding the right rhythm of life to find some more connection with your body, your environment, those people around you, in really resourceful and helpful ways. We're in a new environment for those who have been following these series of videos, and I'm glad to introduce Blossom, who's here with us today. Today we're going to continue the conversation around what strategies are perhaps helpful, especially if you're doing a lot of sitting, where you may experience grumbling, low back pain, postural pain, because you've been sitting in the same position for prolonged periods. We talked about looking at the buttock muscle, and today one of the other areas that are interesting and implicated perhaps in how we are able to keep our posture flexible is the hamstring, the muscles at the back of the leg. Just to explain what may be the case if you are finding that you often are in this position when you're sitting, your pelvis will rotate backwards. You can see that. Your pelvis will rotate backwards or posteriorly tilt. That can be a function of tight glutes and tight hamstrings. So what we want to do is open up this region of the body so that you're able to have a little bit more capacity to move in and out of this position, so that you're able to come away from that in a very fluid way, and that you don't find yourself stuck in this position where often most of the overstrains and postural issues occur. So let's get started. Having a firm chair, maybe having your buttocks nestled in the back of the chair, your feet are close, fixed on the ground. You can feel your sitting bones, your back is slightly away. Just a very quick warm up. We'll do the dance of the shoulders just to get you into the mood. We're going to go around the other way. You can even begin to move the rest of your body. As you're going to inhale, shrug your shoulders. As you exhale, let your shoulders relax. And then I invite you just to begin to wiggle on your sitting bones. Inhaling, and as you begin to exhale, you stop. How does that make you feel? Now you're more connected to your body. We can begin our exercise. So you need to be standing. I'm going to move the chair forward. Have your feet about hip width apart. And what we're going to do is we're going to grow from the back of the head. So if we're standing in this position, we can try and see if we can lift the back of the neck, but gently bringing the chin towards the back of the throat. Imagine you're kissing a very soft, white, fluffy cloud. So feet are flat on the ground. Give your toes a wiggle so that you're planted. And the movement sequence is this. You're going to bend forward. And as far as you're able to go, remember, if you still feel a pulling, the tension will increase. Now, you may get all the way down to the ground. Your hands may be flat. You can't see my hands, but it doesn't really matter. You may be at your ankles. You may be at your shins. You may be just above your knees. That's the movement. Now we're going to break it down. So, as you bend forward, you're going to try and keep your lower back straight so that there's a sense of lifting the chest as you bend forward until you begin to engage that safe zone. Remember we spoke about that. You'll feel it in tension. Now, two things will happen. When you've reached that tension point, two things may happen. You will notice, maybe not, your buttocks will drift backwards from the vertical, or you will find that your knees start to buckle. That's okay if either of those things happen. These are points where you can begin to work more deeply. So let's break it up one at a time. Start with the lifted back. Your back is straight. You bend forwards. You reach that tension point. Now, how to work more deeply into the hamstrings. You may need your chair. What you can do is begin to bring your weight forward. Now, what you'll notice is that your toes will start to grip and you may feel that you're going to fall forwards. So this is why you have your support. Now this, as you move backwards, the tension releases. As you move forward, the tension increases. So this is one way that you can begin to work more deeply into your hamstrings so that you're able to allow the tissue to accommodate and the nervous system to adapt to these new changes. So you're going to come back up. And we will do this with the breath. Remember, the breath is a way that we can work safely into these stretches and movements. So we'll do that again. You inhale here, keeping the back straight and lifted. We exhale forward till we get to that tension point. We're going to hold on to the chair. We're going to inhale here. As you exhale, you're going to work towards more vertical. And then you're going to inhale and come backwards. That's all you're doing. Exhale, working into that tension. Notice your toes will grip. So this is the challenge. You can begin to wiggle your toes here and come back. Now you can do that movement as you exhale maybe 5 times, maybe 10 times. What you also can do as you exhale, feeling the tension, you can stay here. And you can begin to wiggle your toes. And you are breathing for 5 to 10 breaths. When you're finished, come back up and relax. You may want to shake your knees, wiggle your hands, just to come back to what feels maybe like a normal, because it can be quite a strong stretch. The second point where you can deepen this exercise and work more deeply into the hamstrings is what we spoke about. When you bend forward, as you inhale, you bend forward, you may find that your knees start to buckle and bend as you reach that tension point. You're keeping the back straight. So again, you can use the support and you now can begin to walk. In yoga, I call it walk the dog. You're trying to work a little bit more into the tension, the back of the knee. You may feel it into your calf as well. So here, you just take your time as you breathe. You are just alternately bending one knee and straightening the other. Bending one knee and straightening the other. You can do that for as long as you feel comfortable. you may want to come to rest, and you've got another element where you can again deepen this maneuver, where you bring your weight forward. You'll feel an increase. You may want to breathe here, maybe 5 or 10 breaths. And you can again work with bending your knees alternately. This is quite a strong stretch for some of you. Some of you may find that the chair is too high. You can turn it around. You can work deeper. The further you go, the deeper you will experience that stretching feeling. It's entirely up to you. You can use the chair, or as I said, some of you may be at your shins, holding onto your shins. Remember, as you go further down, just keep your toes alive. Just wiggle them every now and again, because you will find that your toes will begin to grip. So I've been in this position a long time. What you may find that may be a little bit delicate to come straight up. So I would bend your knees and then return to normal. That's it for today. There are so many ways that you can work into your hamstrings. This is just one suggestion where you're standing. You can do your hamstrings when you're sitting. Maybe we'll do that in another video. But see how you get on. Let me know how it is. Perhaps you have some other ideas that you have found that work for you. And remember, these are suggestions. You find and explore ways that really work for you and different positions and postures that you find most helpful. And if you do share your insights, make a comment below, subscribe. You will find a way of building the conversation around what works for you. Let's build a community of ideas. Be well. See you again another time. Thank you for joining.